Okay, let's talk about the Bafta situation, right? Here's what happened. Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo were on stage. Someone started yelling swear words at them, and then he yelled the N-word at them when they were on stage. At the time, they had no idea who the guy was, why he was there, anything. They didn't really know anything. Afterwards, obviously, they found out it was a guy with Tourette's, and yeah. The BAFTAs, for some reason, decided not to edit out the swear word, the N-word, but did edit out someone say Free Palestine, okay? So, pretty weird that someone would do that, right? So, the whole thing really is on the BAFTAs, okay? The fact that anyone has taken this beyond BAFTAs dum-dums, end of story, is kind of wild, because Jamie Foxx posted on Instagram that, he posted a series of things. It was basically alluding to the fact that John Davison, the man who, said the N-word, he meant that shit. He was racist, basically. Which is kind of stupid, because if you just Google what he has and what that is, you would know that that's not true. But he wants to believe, because he wants to be angry, he wants to be outraged, he wants there to be a moment for himself, that, no, he meant that shit. He meant it, but he didn't mean it, okay? Have you seen the video of Lewis Capaldi on stage having Tourette's? As you can see, he's clearly not choosing to do that, right? That isn't his choice. But Jamie Foxx and people like Charlemagne the God would have you believe that while Lewis Capaldi obviously isn't choosing to do that, because why would Lewis Capaldi want to stand there and do that instead of just doing his job? Why would he want that? Okay? He doesn't, obviously, but everyone understands that, because if it's all just movements and shit, everyone understands, well, obviously that person doesn't want to be doing that right now. How terrible, what a bad illness, right? But when it comes to a word that you don't like, well then of course it's on purpose, because I'm offended. So it must be on purpose, because I'm offended. No, dum-dum, it's not on purpose. He has a disability. That's kind of how those things work, right? Can you imagine choosing to live your life the way this guy has had to live his life, John Davidson, so he could... So the whole mindset here is he has lived his life this way so he can get away with calling Michael B. Jordan the N-word at the BAFTAs. You're right, he has suffered his entire life and gone through unimaginable, terrible things his entire life just so he could do this. It's ridiculous, it's stupid. People are unbelievably dumb. I mean, all you have to do is Google the condition to know what it is, how it affects people, and he obviously didn't want to say that word. Now, if you're trying to imply that he's secretly racist and that's why he did it, you're also a bit of an idiot, because you have absolutely no reason to believe that. Of all the words he could have said, he said the one bad word, right? Of all the words he could have said, he said, yeah, that's kind of what the condition is, dumbass. He says the one thing he's not meant to say. If he's in front of police, he shouts, "I've got heroin." Okay. Here's the funny thing about it. Here's the hilarious part about the whole thing, is he was there. The man who shouted the word with Tourette's was actually there, because a movie had been made about his life called I Swear. Okay, which won 2 BAFTAs, by the way. And it's a movie about his life. Okay, his life having to live with this thing, and basically, it was about raising awareness for people with Tourette's. People don't understand it. People don't get it. And the hilarious part about that whole thing is, the thing that the movie is about, I mean, it's almost like it was planned. It was almost like it was planned. The entire internet erupted, calling this guy a racist, saying, Tourette's, he could have just thought of a different word, and said that instead. No, you literally proved the point of the movie, right? You proved the point of the movie perfectly. Now, obviously, right, there are people who are going to use this and have been using this as a chance to just be racist. Okay, that's X. Twitter, that is what Twitter is. That is what Twitter has always been, is what it will always be. Okay? No matter what situation presents itself, people will weaponize it for their own purposes, right? Obviously, that's always going to happen. However, if you believe that this says anything about the guy who said the word, you're a dumbass. You really are. You just don't have any brain. You can just Google it. You can just Google it and just know immediately that you're wrong, but you don't want to do that. You just want to be angry. You just want to be outraged. Now, obviously, anyone and everyone who is using this as a chance to be racist is a fucking idiot, okay? The Baftas are a useless organisation run by the BBC, which is a useless organisation that everyone hates because the BBC is shit, right? We understand that what the Baftas did is wrong, because what the Baftas did is they... Like I said before, they edited out Free Palestine, but then they left the N-word in. I really don't know what the logic there was. They have since apologised, but only because of the backlash, okay? They initially didn't apologise. John Davidson hasn't apologised, and he shouldn't, right? He has absolutely no need to apologise whatsoever. He can't control it, right? If he would much rather live a life where he doesn't have to do that, right? That was not his choice. People kill themselves with Tourette's because it gets so bad that they can't function in life at all, right? They can't cook food. They can barely eat because it is so unbelievably terrible. They can't do anything, okay? So the idea that this is just like some silly thing, or he could have just thought of a different word, is ridiculous. It is really stupid. But also, again, everyone who is using this as a chance to be racist, equally dumb. Well, more dumb, actually. You are more dumb if you are trying to use this as a chance to be racist. And for all you people out there who still think he's racist, all you have to do is watch the film that he's in. Just go watch the film, okay? The film that is made about his life is called I Swear. Go watch that movie and still think if he meant to say that shit, okay? All you have to do is watch the movie. If you're going to choose to be ignorant, this level of ignorant, all you have to do is just watch the movie, right? If you still continue to be on the side of he meant this shit, you don't say that shit unless you mean it, all you have to do to stop being an ignorant dumbass right now, is go and watch the film. It's all you have to do and you'll understand. But I have a feeling all those people, they don't want to watch the film because they just want to believe what they want. They don't want brain cells. They just want to be dumbasses who are offended. That's what they want. However, if you want something to be offended about all the people who are using this as a chance to be racist. Go do it there. Go use your anger there, where it actually should be. Not at the guy who has lived what seemed to be a pretty terrible life because of his pretty bad disability he had since... Well, he got diagnosed when he was 12, but I'm pretty sure he'd had it longer than that, right? You should probably maybe direct the anger to other people, not the disabled guy who obviously doesn't want to be in that position. Anyway, I'll leave it on this. The final thing I'll say is, and here's the point I just made, but the final point is the ignorance that you are accusing John Davidson of having. Look in a mirror, because you're the one with the ignorance, okay? All you have to do is watch the movie and you'll understand, okay? Don't let your own ego stop you from learning something here. You can be wrong about things. If you believe what a lot of people are saying about this guy, all you have to do is watch the movie, okay? All you gotta do.